It seemed only fitting to wear this shirt for today's video. I'm ready to talk about it. I don't know how much detail I'm going to get into, but I'm ready to talk about it. About a month before her appointment, I noticed that she was coughing every once in a while. She would have like coughing fits, and I just thought that she had like a hairball or something. And then I noticed she started breathing pretty heavily in like the beginning of January. Like I could just see her breath. Oh, should never Google it. But in my case, it ended up being right. So, but I Googled it, and everything was saying like, if your cat is breathing like that, take her to the emergency room, especially if she's been coughing. This is not normal. Everything is not normal. This is not good. This is your cat your cat is in heart failure. Like all of this horrible stuff I was reading. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here watching my cat die. This is horrible. But yeah, I texted my mom at some point in the beginning of January. I was like, you almost got to call at the middle of the night last night because Google is telling me that Swayze is dying and I'm not well. And she just kept saying, take her to the vet because she probably just has a cold. She probably just needs an antibiotic. Just take her to the vet, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't want to take her to the vet. I don't want to. So I put it off a little bit. I noticed that she would stop breathing like that. She would breathe more normal every once in a while. And so I was like, she's fine. She just is sick and she just needs to get over this little cold that she has. She's just sick. And then she was breathing more normal again and doing good. Wasn't really having any coughing fits or anything for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then she started breathing heavily again, and I was like, oh gosh, Swayze, what is going on? I remember it like it was literally yesterday. And she was laying at the end of my bed, and I was like petting her face like she liked. And I was like, I'm not ready to do life without you yet. Like, you need to be okay. On Tuesday, the 23rd of January, which 23 23 has always been my favorite number. It just always has been. It's not very nice to me though. I was sitting in my car before I went into work, and I found a vet that was only about 8 minutes away from my house, because I was like, if she is actually struggling right now, I don't want to give her more stress by being in the car for a very long time. So I found a place that was 8 minutes from my house. I made an appointment online, and I made that appointment for Saturday and went into work. While I'm working, I get a phone call from the vet. They're like, hi, this is so-and-so from the vet, and I'm looking over your appointment request for Swayze, and I was just wondering if you wanted to come in a little bit sooner, because typically with breathing problems, we want to see them sooner rather than later. And I was like, oh, okay, alrighty, then. So I called them back and made an appointment for that day at 2:30. Came home, spent some time with her. She was, the thing that in my head, I was like, she's okay because she's still acting fine. She's still eating. She's not eating as much, but she's still eating. She's still drinking. She's still using the litter box. She's still running around on the hall, like up and down the hall. She's still jumping up onto the couch. Like, she's still acting like herself. So it's got to be just a cold. We got in the car to go, and up until that point, I was thinking the worst. But then at that point, I was like, no, she just has a cold. She's fine. They're gonna give me an antibiotic, maybe a breathing treatment, and they're gonna send us on our way. I should have never gotten optimistic. Okay, so now we're gonna get into it. We drive to the vet. I get her out, and I go to the other side of my car to get her out, and I like looked down at her and I was like, I love you so much. And I picked her up and I took her in, and I was like, I'm here for Swayze. And they're like, okay. And they took us back into the room, and she's like, you can put her up here. And she like even turned the scale on for her to weigh her and everything. So I put her crate up on the shelf, and she opened it from the top and like flipped it open, looked at her and was like, I'm gonna go put her on oxygen, and took her away from me. I mean, 30 seconds we were in there. She comes back and she's like, okay, the doctor wants to do some tests and some x-rays and some blood work and maybe get her on an IV and all of, like, she's like listing all of this stuff. And she's like, baseline, that's going to be about $500. Plus, this is an emergency vet visit now because you're coming in the day that you made the appointment. So the appointment itself is $165. So is that something that you can do? And I was like, no. So she comes back into the room. She's like, okay, so what is your budget? And I was like, $300, because that's what I had. And I tried applying for care credit. I tried applying for Affirm, and there was like another one that I tried applying for. I got denied for all three of them. And so I was like, $300. And she's like, okay, well, with $300, I can I can do an x-ray. And I was like, okay, go do it. So she did the x-ray, and she comes back in, and she's like, I was able to do the x-ray. And she was like being all quiet and sensitive. She's like, I was able to do the x-ray. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and I don't have the best news. And I was like, okay. And she's like, she has this thing called pleural effusion, which is fluid around the lungs, which is making it so that the lungs are working harder. It's also making it so that everything is pushed away. So it wasn't fluid in the lungs, but it's fluid around the lungs. It's making the lungs work harder. It's making the heart work harder. It's really messing her up. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, the best thing to do in that situation is to put her down. And I was like, okay. I just like instantly broke out into tears. And she gave me some tissues. And she's like telling me all these statistics about it, telling me like things that they could do and things that other people have done. But in the end, it always ends the same way. And she's like, the best thing and the best thing for her to do is to put her down. And I was like, meanwhile, I'm sitting there by myself. I was by myself. I even told her this at one point. I was like, I've never been the mom in this situation. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. So I called my mom and told her. We both started crying. We were both crying. And so obviously my mom can't get here for this. So she's like, let me get a hold of Ashlyn and Adrian. And I was like, okay. So she gets a hold of both of them. Ashlyn was like literally already leaving work because our manager was like, hey, you're done. Go ahead. Get out of here. So it was like perfect timing for her. And Adrian was at a meeting at work. But she's like, I'll get there as soon as I can. My mom texted me and was like, Ashlyn's on her way. Where are you? So I sent her my like location to give to Ashlyn. So then the vet tech comes back in and is telling me like the breakdown of what's gonna happen, how much everything costs. I was able to use care credit through the phone, my mom's care credit. She's telling me the breakdown, what all is gonna happen, how it's going to happen, the cost. She was so sweet. And then she was saying how when it happens, she's like back there where she is, like in her little oxygen incubator thing, we're gonna give her a shot that will essentially just like put her to sleep as if she's like going in for surgery. And then we will bring her in here. maybe I'm not ready to talk about this. Then we'll bring her in here and you can hold her and be with her and, you know, say your goodbyes, and then we can give her the other shot. And she's like, the last thing that she'll see is your face. I was like, my best friend is on her way. Is there any way that we can just wait until she's here? I was like, she's 20 minutes away. She's like, oh yeah, definitely. And I'm like, okay. She's like, do you have any other questions? I was like, can I go see her, please? Because this whole time I haven't even been with her. She's like, yeah, of course. She takes me back. Oh, God. This is where it gets rough. So she takes me back, and by the time we get to where she is, she's breathing with her mouth open, and she's drooling a lot. And that's not a good sign. And so she like announces that she's breathing with her mouth open. She takes her out of the incubator thing and puts her on the counter, and she's trying to put a mask, like a oxygen mask, over her mouth, and Swayze did not want that on her, so she was fighting that. It took 2 vet techs and the vet to like get her calm to put her mask on her. The vet kept saying, Mom, you don't need to watch this, you don't need to watch this. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I just like turned around to not watch it because I didn't know what else to do. So they got her calmed down, and they gave her that first shot to calm her down. And so she was relaxed. And Taylor, the vet tech, was like, she's got the best drugs going through her right now. She's like, she's feeling so good right now. And I'm like, great. And so they have her laying there, and her back is to me, so I'm not looking at her face or anything, especially because she's got the mask on. And I guess there was 3 shots. I don't really remember, honestly. But then they give her this other shot that was like a really light pink color. And I was just petting the back of her head, and I kissed her. And then that was it. The vet was like, had me go back to the room by myself. And she was gone. And it was a different vet tech that took me back to my room. Whew. And 5 minutes later, Ashlyn got there. Not even 5 minutes. So Ashlyn got there, and she was like, what's happening? And I was like, it's already happened. She's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, but I don't want to be here anymore. And so we left. We just walked out of the room and went up front and finished the payment, and I had to sign a paperwork saying that I consented in putting her down, because I was supposed to sign that before they did it, but it happened so fast that I had to sign it then. And then Taylor, the one vet tech that I really liked, cut a little bit of her hair and did her paw print, gave it to me. and she's getting cremated, and I guess she said that the cremation place will do a better job, but she's like, I just wanted you to have something. And then we left. I was there an hour. We left at about 3:30. I haven't gotten her back yet, and that makes me really sad because I just want her back. So then Ashlyn and I came back to my house. Ashlyn ordered some food for us, and I was like, I just want everything gone. And she's like, you don't want everything gone. And I was like, yes, I do. I want everything gone. And so she like boxed up all of her toys. I used to have a sign on my bookshelf over there that said, say hi to Swayze Boots. She didn't want to put that away, but I did. So I put it away after she left. I got rid of her food dish. Well, I didn't get rid of it, but I cleaned out her food dish and put it away. Oh god, it was 23 when I just looked at that. I swear 23 shows up way more now than it ever has before. I got rid of her litter box. I totally threw that away. You're sitting on her cat tower right now. I still have that because I just can't get rid of this. But for the most part, all of her stuff is boxed up and put away. I just didn't want to look at it. Although I'm sitting here right now and there's a toy underneath my coffee table that I've not seen. And I just want her back. Life has not been easy without her. And I posted this on Facebook, but I was like, it sounds so weird because she was a cat. Didn't really make a whole lot of noise, but my apartment is so quiet without her. And every day coming home from work sucks. Every single day. Like, it's not gotten better at all. It hasn't even been a month, but every single day coming into my front door just sucks because she's not there. She's always been right there. She's always been at the door waiting for me to come home. This was the first Saturday that I've been home and not had something to do, like right when I woke up, so I laid in bed. I shouldn't have done that because it just made me miss all of the like Saturday morning snuggles, and I would wake up on a Saturday and she would come up and lay with me and we would snuggle, and oh, it's just so hard. But I do have her tattooed on me. I got it done. Well, I made the appointment a week after she died. I got it done 2 weeks after she died. Here she is. And there's her paw print that I've had. So it's hard to get like a really good view of it. Here we go. This is like becoming my Swayze arm. I've got her paw print, I've got ditto for Patrick Swayze. That's my Swayze arm now. I've got an area all cleared out on my piano that she's gonna go. She always loved to listen to me play piano. I haven't played piano since it. I don't want to. I feel like it's so hard because of just all the regular daily routines, but then like you'll do something like today I vacuumed for the first time and I'm like crying vacuuming because I was always in such a routine of taking the vacuum out and like putting it in the like in an area that she would see it first because she hated the vacuum so much. She never liked the vacuum. And so I would always like warn her before I started vacuuming, like by bringing it out and like putting it so she could see it. So it's like all of the daily routines are hard, but then like every once in a while you'll just do something random and you'll be like, dang, this sucks. So yeah, that's what happened. One thing I will say, it's kind of funny, not funny, but her birthday and death date are both like cool dates. I don't know the word I want to say, but like her birthday was 7-11 and her death day is 1-2-3. I think that's like fun. I don't know, fun doesn't seem like the right word, but you get it. All right, I've been blabbering for half an hour now. I think I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. And thanks for caring. I know a lot of you guys actually really loved Swayze and liked seeing her and stuff, so. She was the best. Oh. I've got this bracelet. And then on the back, and you flip it, it says Dove, because that's what I always called her. And I have not taken it off since I got it. Whew, alrighty. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being so sweet. And my next video, I promise I won't be crying as much. I'll probably cry though a little bit because I cry every single day now. Alrighty. Bye.